Now, we're going to talk a little bit about gun safety, gun responsibility. In this case, I don't think this was an accident at all, but with the story coming out of Wisconsin, we're going to talk about this young man right here who lost his life for no reason. But let me give you guys a disclaimer and then we'll get into his story, okay? Here we go. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I'm getting this story from lawandcrime.com, one of my favorite sources. Shout out to them. Protect our babies. You guys can get these shirts. Link is in the description box. A man in Wisconsin showing off his guns to his 8-year-old stepson in an attempt to look cool, shot and killed the youngster, telling police afterwards that he did something stupid. And that's according to police. This guy right here who looks like he grew up in a forest. He just looks rough. Stephen Merkel, 52 years old, of Lake Geneva, is charged with first-degree reckless homicide in connection to the death of his stepson, Michael Meager, at a residence on Lincoln Drive on Monday, according to the Town of Geneva Police Department and Walworth County District Attorney's Office. The DA's office reviewed the early morning shooting, and charges were brought down later in the day, Monday, after the shooting was first reported around 2:25 a.m. Let me say that again. It was reported at 2:25 a.m. His name is Stephen Merkel, not Urkel. Stephen, spelled traditionally Merkel, Merkel. Just so you guys, if you need to look it up. Said it looks like Santa Claus from the abyss. He looks very terrible for 52 years old, I gotta say. Upon arrival, Town of Geneva police officers and fire personnel located a young male that had been shot and began life-saving measures, a press release says. The young male was transported to a local hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. When officers arrived on the scene and approached Merkel, Merkel, he seemed frantic and was covered in blood, according to the criminal complaint obtained by Milwaukee Fox affiliate WITI. He later allegedly told police that he did something stupid and it wasn't Meager's fault that he got shot. When police asked Merkel why he was showing Meager the guns, he told them because it made the defendant look cool. It made him look cool. He was trying to look cool, allegedly. Merkel claimed he took the magazine out of the 9mm handgun that was used to kill Meager and was under the impression that it wouldn't fire without it. He walked outside of the bedroom and pointed the gun at Meager, the complaint says, per WITI. Pointed it at him. The defendant stated that the defendant pulled the trigger and was expecting it to click, but instead it went boom, shooting the boy. You can't be this fucking dumb. This man is above and beyond stupid. Merkel admitted to police that he had pulled out his handgun to show Meager before, even pointing it down toward him while ordering him to listen, the complaint says. God dang, boy. They got him saying that. Yeah, he's finished. He allegedly drank 2 little drinks of rum and RC that evening before the shooting. So he was drunk under the influence. A GoFundMe launched for Meager's family by one of his friend's parents described the incident as a very traumatic accident. It was not an accident. They're asking for $22,000. They've raised $20,000 so far. Do I have a picture of that GoFundMe? Yes, I do. Right there. So far, they've raised $20,000. It looks like they're going to raise their goal. They're going to meet their goal. So whatever, if y'all want to donate to the GoFundMe, it's up. Merkel is being held on a cash bond of $250,000 and is due in court on Monday after his initial appearance was pushed back from Thursday. Do y'all think this was an accident? This is above and beyond stupid. You don't play with guns. Guns aren't toys. They are tools. And this fool needs to be held accountable for what he did with that tool. I don't think this was an accident at all. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would, do me a favor and please click the thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section. I'd like to hear from people. If y'all believe that this was an accident, he didn't do this on purpose, I don't see how you could justify it, but if you feel that way, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think.
We're following breaking news today at 5. A Walworth County man appears in court accused in the fatal shooting of 9-year-old Michael Meager, his stepson. 12 News' Nick Bohr reports from the town of Geneva, where investigators say they are still looking for answers.
A chilling call at 2:30 a.m. Monday, a few blocks from a frozen Lake Como.
Call come in for a young man that was shot.
Police soon learned the victim was 9-year-old Michael Meager, a third grader who was pronounced dead at the hospital. His family shared these photos. Police say he'd been shot by his stepfather, but the circumstances are still under investigation. From what you've learned, was this intentional? Was it accidental?
It's still an open investigation, and I'm not going to comment on that at this point.
The police chief says officers are never sure what to expect when they go inside a crime scene, but he says this one was particularly difficult.
It is a hard scene. It's a hard scene for any officer. No matter how many times you've seen it, or if you've never been there before, it's a very hard scene. Probably the hardest scene for a police officer to experience in his lifetime. In career law enforcement, you probably never want to see that. Hoping you never see that, but it's a very difficult, very hard scene.
Police arrested the boy's stepfather, 52-year-old Stephen Merkel. He made his first court appearance this afternoon.
So this is a serious charge and a serious incident. It's a reckless homicide involving a young child.
Prosecutors say they're not quite ready to formally charge Merkel, but expect to do so Thursday. He remains in custody. At the Walworth County Courthouse in Elkhorn, Nick Bohr, WISN 12 News.
Now, Merkel's being held on a $250,000 bail ahead of Thursday hearing, where the DA says he expects to formally charge him with reckless homicide and provide more details about what happened.
We're learning more about a young boy shot and killed Monday in the town of Geneva. Police say the 9-year-old stepdad is responsible.
Stephanie Quirk is live outside the Walworth County Jail tonight with what we know. Steph?
Yeah, Ted and Mary, we've learned 9-year-old Michael Meager is the boy shot and killed. Now, his school district tells us he was a student at Brook Park Elementary in LaGrange Park, Illinois. That's a suburb right outside of Chicago, where now the entire community is mourning his loss.
This is one of the hardest calls for any officer to go to. My officers, the officer responded, they responded from all over.
It was early Monday when town of Geneva police officers say that call came in.
At approximately 2:30 in the morning for a little boy, 8-year-old boy that was shot.
Police say officers discovered a 9-year-old boy inside this home near Kale and Lincoln Drive. They say he was shot.
They all performed life-saving measures. He was transported to the hospital where his later pronounced deceased.
9-year-old Michael Meager is the boy who died. Loved ones say he's from LaGrange Park, a suburb outside of Chicago. They describe him as a funny, happy kid who loved soccer.
He was up here, sounds like for the weekend.
Police arrested his stepfather, 52-year-old Stephen Merkel. They're not telling us exactly how this happened, but the chief does say they're expecting formal charges to come through Thursday.
Unfortunately, this happened. Should never happen anywhere.
As for the young boy,
doing this for 30 years, that's always my hardest cause.
He's being remembered in Wisconsin and by his school in Illinois as a bright light taken too soon.
Now, loved ones created a GoFundMe for the boy's family.
A big story. The stepdad.
Yeah, Merkel is accused of killing 8-year-old Michael Mager. Now, prosecutors say he told detectives he was showing the boy guns before he pulled the trigger of one, shooting the boy and killing him.
State of Wisconsin versus Stephen D. Merkel. Appearances, please.
This is 52-year-old Stephen Merkel. He's the man accused in the death of his 8-year-old stepson, Michael Mager.
Stephen Merkel appears by video conference from the Walworth County Jail.
Prosecutors say early Monday morning, officers arrived to a home on Lincoln Drive in the town of Geneva for a shooting.
Lincoln Drive in Geneva Township for a young boy shot in the neck.
When they entered the home, investigators say Merkel, quote, seemed frantic and was covered in blood. They say Mager was lying on the floor in a pool of blood with a gunshot.
Yeah, can we get flight headed to Aurora Lakeland at this time?
First responders tried to save the boy, but he later died at a hospital. Loved ones describe him as a funny and kind kid who loved soccer. When detectives later interviewed Merkel Monday, prosecutors say he told them he was showing Mager guns Monday, quote, because it made him look cool. They say he told detectives when he went to grab a different gun, he pulled the magazine out, thinking the gun would not fire without it. He then pointed the gun at Mager, pulled the trigger, quote, expecting it to click, but instead, it shot the boy.
I noted that a criminal complaint was recently filed.
Merkel appeared in court after being charged with first-degree reckless homicide on Thursday, but his initial appearance was rescheduled. He remains in jail.
All right, very good. That's all for today.
Now, Merkel is due back in court on Monday. He remains in the Walworth County Jail on $250,000 bond. Loved ones of the boy created a GoFundMe for the family. You can find more on that in this article on the Fox Local app. Reporting live in Walworth County, Stephanie Quirk, Fox 6 News.
So again, guns being a huge responsibility. They're tools. They don't do anything. They're inanimate objects until a person, a human being, interacts with that thing and acts irresponsibly and took this boy's life. It's just something about this. I could be wrong, but something about this just tells me that maybe this could have been on purpose. I don't think he liked this kid. I could be wrong. But it's just something about this that just don't sit right with me. And I just refuse to believe that this young man who could have grown up to become anything, his life was taken for absolutely no reason. May his soul, young man, R.I.P., rest in peace. Good-looking young man, could have grown up to become something great. But his life was robbed. If you guys have a comment, leave a comment in the comment section. If you empathize with the man and you don't think he did it on purpose, let us know in the comment section. Let's debate this. Let's talk about this. But I think that he did it on purpose. And it's not even the first incident that he had by doing this. Let me know what you guys think. The AFC Podcast, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Then we'll go from there, all right? Love you guys from my heart to yours. Thank you guys so much.